An executive who owns his own company interviewed job applicants. He gave a question to test the three applicants. He asked, if I have 6 and divide it into 2, what is the result? The first applicant said 3. He was not hired for being so honest. The second applicant was asked the same question, and the answer was 2. He was not hired either for being dishonest and ignorant fool. And the third applicant was asked the same question. If I have 6 and divide it into 2, what is the result? The third applicant said, if I were to divide the 6 between you and me, I will give you the 4 and take 2. And he was hired. We ask, why? The third applicant ensured himself to be hired, giving the benefit to the employer. My dear brothers and sisters, today, the readings is telling us that we are God's stewards. And as a stewards, we are expected to be wise, faithful, and to be prudent. And as a steward, we are asked to use every blessing we have, time, talent, wealth, health, in order to attain heavenly bliss. The first reading from the book of the prophet Amos. Amos, the prophet of social justice, he has I forgot the word. He has condemned the corrupt practices of the Jewish merchants. The Jewish merchants were exploiting the poor during the time. And so God sent Amos to warn these people that he will destroy the northern kingdom if they will not change, because they have taken advantage of the poor by exacting profits which they really do not deserve, and using false weights in order to gain more. They do not want the Sabbath rest, because for them, Sabbath rest is just a loss of profit. And they wanted that the Sabbath rest be over so they can gain more. So because of this immorality, God sent Amos to warn his people in order to change. The second reading from the letter of Paul, he is instructing the first Judeo-Christians. They have to be faithful to the covenant with Yahweh, the God of justice. And they have been reminded by Paul that they have, as faithful steward of the covenant with Yahweh, they have to preach the gospel of Jesus to the pagans and include them to to the intercessory prayers. What happened before, because of the Jewish Christians and the Greek Christians, they have compartmentalized the church. The Jewish Christians, the Gentile Christians. So they would not, the Jewish Christians would not even given the time opportunity to hear the word of God. Paul reminded them, there is only one church. They belong to one church. So division should be avoided. They have to be one community. Now in the gospel, we have heard the parable of the dishonest, the crooked manager. But he was praised not because of his dishonesty, but because of his initiative, his response when he learned that he will be dismissed because of his dishonesty. This is something that many would have a difficult time to understand. Why would the manager or the master commend the dishonest manager? It's not because of his action taken. It is because of his response to the need. He knows that he will be dismissed. So what he did, he called the various people who have debts to the master. He asked one by one and reduced the debts to the master. And of course, these people will be very grateful to the manager by reducing their debts. And so because of that, their gratefulness will not only end to the manager, it will extend to the master, the owner of the property. So they honor, they praise, of course, the master because of the action of the manager. And during that period, during the ancient world, honor is a very great thing to the people. So the master cannot just reverse the action of the manager because he, at the same time, was honored because of the action of the manager. And honor is a great thing. To lose an honor is a big thing for the ancient world. So my dear brothers and sisters, now we understand why the master commended him. He has no choice. He was put in an awkward situation because of the action of the manager. He commended him not because of his dishonesty, but because he was so clever and wise to use the situation and secure himself in order to survive. So if the children of this world is so wise to secure their future survival, we must be, as children of light, be wise to secure our life in eternity. So the gospel would remind us that we have to be faithful in little things. St. John Chrysostom said, faithfulness in little things is a big thing. St. Teresa of Calcutta would tell us, do little things with great love. So we should not ignore little things like saying thank you for a favor, commending people for their success, or sharing their sadness in offering help and assistance to others. The gospel also would all remind us
that we have to be very wise with our spiritual resources. The manager in the parable was commended not because of his dishonesty, but because of his clever and wise judgment. And so we have to be very wise also. We must never be less, or we must not be resourceful. We should be very wise in our initiative to secure our future. We have at our disposal the Holy Mass, the sacraments, the Holy Bible, the Word of God. We have at our disposal the teachings of the Church guided by the Spirit, who continue to teach us Christian life. We must use all of these resources to secure our future, so that at the end, the Master will commend, we have acted prudently. Let us remember, my dear brothers and sisters, that we have to be prepared to give an account of our stewardship. Many times we always secure our houses by insuring them. We get insurance against flood, fire, storm, thief. We get insurance for our lives, like life insurance, medical insurance, car insurance. Just as we insure our future in this life, we have to insure ourselves also to the one thing that will certainly happen to us, namely the meeting with our God to give an account of our lives. But the most important thing at the moment of our private judgment by God will be how wisely we use God's blessings entrusted to us, using them lovingly and sharing them generously with others.